Welcome back to The Drop. We're so glad you're here. I am Karina, and this is my dad, John, and we're here with you just ready to drop truth and bring life to your midweek. If you're listening on Wednesday, which is when we normally drop this, we just hope it encourages you today and
get over the hump.
Yeah, hump day. It's called hump day. Yeah, so we've been talking about starting strong. It's 2024 January.
I love this subject. Yeah.
And we talked a lot last week about like dreams and kind of introed, that whole concept of dreams and visions. And today we're going to kind of talk a little bit more in detail about dreams specifically.
Yeah, and the importance of them. Mm-hmm. And I do have to say about last episode. Yeah. It is so good. And I'm not saying that just to say it. I don't like hyping things up. No. But it was so good. Yeah. You would definitely want to go back
and listen.
To if that you didn't, episode. Because there was some super, super good insight.
Right.
But let's talk a little bit about the importance of dreams. Yeah. I think one of the things that I've learned is that dreams is the substance of achievements. If you don't have a dream, if you don't have a vision, then what you're not going to accomplish anything. Yeah. Existing is different than living for a vision. Yeah. Some people get up, clean their teeth, hopefully, have something to eat, go to work, come home, eat, watch TV, boom, boom, do it again, and do it again, and do it again. Right. And by the time they know it, they wake up and 40 years have gone by. Yeah. So that's life. That's not living.
Yeah. Right.
That's just existing.
That's just getting through.
If you really want to have a full life, you have to have a dream. You have to have a vision. You have to have a goal. You have to have something to live for.
Right. No,
other than
for sure.
eat and make money.
Yeah.
And buy things.
Yeah. And some people are fortunate to have a career that coincides with that dream.
That's awesome.
That desire.
That's awesome.
I think that that is possible and common as well, but it also is not. It also is common to not have that link. Yes. To just have a job that's kind of just a job, and is not like this fulfillment of a life purpose dream thing. And I think that obviously you have to work and provide, especially if you have a family and things. But I think that God does put things in us that go beyond that, because He wants your life to be fulfilled, and He wants you to live a fulfilling life and not just a life of work. Yeah. And there's a difference between those two. So if you are one of those that your work is your dream, that's amazing. Keep going at it.
That's me.
Yeah.
And that's you.
Keep going at it.
We are so blessed.
But if it's not you, you can do something about that.
That's right.
And that's kind of what we're talking about here too. Yeah. So I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, and it's so powerful, because when you have a dream, then you have the potential. Yeah. You actually have that opportunity in your life to grow, to progress, to achieve, to be fulfilled. Yeah. You have the opportunity to have a life that's going to be blessed. But, it's like somebody said, if you don't know where you're going, then it doesn't matter what road you take.
Right. Yeah. No, it's
so it's
true.
kind of like people, you need to establish, what is it that I would like to do this year? Even if it's just that. Yeah. It's not this big dream of conquering the world.
Yeah, starting a whole entire corporation. And, that's a great dream too. But, maybe it's not that for you.
Yeah,
maybe it's not that. And
let's crawl before we can walk.
Right, yeah. And I think that's a really good question to ask yourself. What would I like to do this year? Yeah. What's in my heart? What makes me tick? What, because it could be anything, and there's many ways to begin feeding that desire.
Exactly.
And that which is that dream. Yeah. But if you never stop and decide what that is, then you can't even start working towards that specific goal. So I think you have to ask yourself that question, you know, because we all start the year with like these things we know we need to do.
Sure.
You know, these resolutions or these things that we know, okay, well, I
want to do this.
I need to exercise. I need to eat healthy. I need to spend time with my kids.
I want to stop doing that.
Yeah. So like, I think there's a category of things we need to do.
Yeah.
And then we also need to ask ourselves, what would I like to do? You know, because I think that's where it begins to tap into that passion, those desires, and those are given to us by God.
Totally.
You know, to bring that fulfillment beyond the mundane.
Yeah, routine
every day.
Of life.
Yeah. So you have to ask yourself that. So if you haven't asked yourself that, stop this podcast, pause it, ask yourself, and come back.
Right now. What do I want to accomplish this year?
It is a good question.
And it's true, because when you have a dream or you have a vision or you have something you really want to accomplish, it just creates that urgency inside of you. It just creates that energy. It creates that motivation, that inspiration.
Yeah.
And you wanna begin to do something.
Right.
You know, and I think that not having that is why most people begin to experience depression or begin to experience boredom or begin to experience life has no meaning, you know.
Right.
But you gotta live for something.
Yeah.
Or you're gonna die for nothing.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
And I think that dreams are important because it's the substance of your life, is what gives you that potential to achieve something, and it's really it builds something inside of you. And I think that there's a lot of people that are living without some kind of dream, some kind of vision.
Right,
You know, they just, I love this bumper sticker that says, I owe, so off to work I go.
That's terrible.
Oh, man. I was thinking, that's gotta be depressing.
Yeah, right?
If that's all you live for, man.
No. There's nothing more to life, that's for sure. And I think, and I mentioned this in the first episode of this kind of little series, but it's important to write those things down, you know, even if you don't fully understand what it all means or what it all is, you know, like, I mean, even if you just simply start with like, this year I want to help people. That's a start, you know, and then you start writing down, okay, how can I help people?
That's right.
And you start to write down things that interest you. You know, it could be, okay, I'm gonna, you know, serve at this place. I'm gonna go here and ask how I can help here. I'm gonna volunteer at my local school. I'm gonna, you know, and so then you pick what you're gonna do, and then you go and you do it. You know, and so I think it's important to ask yourself that big question. And just start writing stuff down, because then that's going to give you that's going to give you like okay, now I can begin to maybe make a plan. Even like have little steps to start living this dream I have.
Otherwise, and I read this the other day and I love it. I used it already on Sunday, but I love it. It says, talking about it is not doing it.
Yeah, it's true.
And I said that to myself. I said, John Arana, you need to understand that talking about it is not doing it.
I know.
And Dr. Cole used to say, Ed Cole used to say, you're not doing it until you're doing it.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. No, it's true. And you know, I have a kind of something I'm doing right now based on that principle. You know, I've talked with my husband probably over the last like 2 years. You know, I'm like, man, I really like writing. I want to write more.
I see
and
what
this
you're
and
doing.
that.
I like it.
Yeah. So I was praying about this year, and I was like, okay, I keep talking about it and saying I want to, but how bad do I really want to? Because if I really, really want to, I'm going to do it. Just like when I really want to go to Target, I find a reason to go to Target. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, and so I sat down and I thought, okay, what can I do? What do I like to do? And how could I do this? And and I wrote down, okay, I'm going to do it like this, and I'm going to do it this many times a week. And then at the end of the year, you know, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with it, but I have an idea at the end of the year to put to put the things together, the things that I write, and either make a book or make something, put something together.
I was going to suggest that.
Yeah, and so, but it's like,
and try to even have an overarching theme.
Yeah, or
what principles to grow.
Yeah, what I told Serge is I might categorize it like heart, mind, and soul, or something, and have little. But it's like the point is like you're not doing it until you're doing it.
Yeah, that's it.
And you're not going to do it.
You're not writing until you're writing.
Exactly. You're not going to do it until you sit down and make a plan to do it.
And you're not a writer if you're not writing.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's these little things that I feel. Okay, I can do that. I can do this, 2 or 3 times a week, and it doesn't feel like this overwhelming thing.
Exactly.
But it also energizes me because I know that I'm doing something that's birthed in me, and so I think how to do that for you.
I think you're hitting on a good point, because a lot of people don't own up to a dream or don't own up to a goal because they start thinking, oh my God, this is going to be a lot of work.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be a lot of work.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to talk yourself right out of it.
Yeah.
Thinking that way.
Yeah,
okay.
For sure.
Because anything that's worth doing is going to be a lot of work.
Yeah.
But I learned that if you start with a small little step.
Yes, exactly.
Inch by inch is a cinch.
Yeah.
And so you just take one little step at a time.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, oh my gosh, this already been 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing this every day.
Right.
And you realize that you don't have to take on the whole project all in one day.
Yeah, exactly.
You just take little bits and pieces, and you'll get there.
Yeah.
You'll get there because if God put that dream in your heart or that desire in your heart, He also put the ability in your heart.
Oh, that's some real good dropping
That's
truth
a drop.
right
That's
there.
A drop.
That is so good. That should, give you confidence, because that's true.
It's true.
If God put something in you, then He's equipped you to do it.
That's right.
And I think the big thing for me is once you determine what that dream is that you have, it's on you to do something with it. Nobody's going to come to you and be like, oh, you know what? I just thought I'm going to give you a book deal because I just thought I should do that.
Hey, by the way, it's like, I just found you out of nowhere. I never even knew who you were, where you live or anything, but I just happened to find you.
I know you've never written anything, but I'm going to give you a book deal,
That's
and it's like
never going to happen.
Right. And so it's up to you to fruition your dream.
Absolutely.
And take it in small little things. If it is something you really, really want to do or you're ready to do.
I say people do what they really want to do.
Oh, yes.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't really want to do it.
You won't do it.
Yeah.
You'll find something else you want to do.
Oh, it's like my kids. It's like when they really, really want to find something or do something, like I don't have to help them at all.
Oh,
like,
man.
If they really want that bowl of ice cream, they will get that ice cream out. They will scoop through
that
hard ice.
The refrigerator.
They will melt the ice cream. They will figure it out. But if they don't really want to pour their own milk,
that's it.
They're like, oh, mommy.
Right.
Mainly Leo. The girls do that. But
right.
It's true. People really do what they really want to do. Yeah, that's true.
So the dream and visions or goals are important. If you want to start strong, you got to have something to live for.
Yeah, that's right.
And second, dreams are always going to be tested.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
When you set out to do something, there are going to be obstacles. There are going to be setbacks. There are going to be
challenges.
Doubts. And I think that sometimes again, young with the vision and old with the dream.
Yeah.
The old with the dream knows this is going to take time. I'm going to have some setbacks. It's okay. It's all part of life.
Yeah.
But the young with the dream, with the vision is kind of like, oh no, we had a setback. Yeah. Oh my gosh, we're gonna. What's happening here? Am I going to quit? Am I going to keep going?
Right.
So you have those
the balance.
Yeah, you have that balance.
Yeah.
But every dream will be tested. Look at the dream of Moses, of setting the people free from slavery.
Yeah.
Man, he was tested.
You
know a little bit about the story of the Honda guy.
No.
The Honda, and well, the Honda guy was
like the car, Honda.
The car. The story of Mr. Honda is that he was an engineer.
Okay.
And so he set up a little shop when he worked for a car manufacturing company, but he set up a little shop on his own.
Okay.
To try to develop a little engine and stuff like that. Okay.
Okay.
Long story short, he developed some pistons.
Okay.
And Toyota. He was trying to sell it to the Toyota company.
Okay.
And he offered the piston to the Toyota, and the Toyota said, no, they're not at the level of the quality that we want.
Okay.
Anyhow, so he went to work, got it better, sold it to the Toyota.
Okay.
The Toyota said, you're going to manufacture our pistons.
Wow. Okay.
So he's
That's
like, man, I
awesome.
made it, you know? Well, his factory burns down.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible. Oh my gosh.
So he rebuilds
Talk
his
about
factory.
a setback.
He rebuilds his factory.
Okay.
World War II happens. They bomb his factory.
Oh my gosh.
So they bombed the whole factory. And anyhow, one thing after another with this poor guy.
Kept like stopping
One
him.
thing after another, after another. And so the bottom line is, you know, failure after failure, setback after setback. And finally what gave him a boost was that nobody could afford cars. Mm-hmm. So he developed a little engine for a bicycle. And he put an engine in a bicycle to have transportation.
Oh, wow,
and,
that's cool.
But they said it's too clunky.
Okay.
And so they said, you know, you need to adjust it. Anyhow, long story short is he writes a letter to all the bicycle shops in Japan.
Okay.
Thousands of bicycle shops.
Okay.
Saying, we're going to have a revolution of transportation.
Okay.
We're going to empower our Japanese to be able to blah, 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 get around. Anyhow, that's how they came up with the scooter Honda.
Oh,
and it was an overnight sensation.
Oh my gosh.
And sold millions and millions and millions and millions.
That's awesome.
And then eventually he started with his engine, and now
wow, that's
everybody
so
knows
cool.
who Honda is.
Yeah. That's awesome.
With
very cool.
Millions and millions of employees all around the world.
Sure, yeah.
But look at the test.
Yeah, right.
Look at the test. And that guy kept persevering, man. And that's why you got to have a deep yes.
Yeah, definitely. Oh,
because you're going to need that, because we are going to face some obstacles. You know the story of Oprah, right? Oprah.
Yeah.
You know, she was poverty, abused.
Yeah.
They told her, you're not going to amount to much because you're black and you're fat.
Oh, my gosh. Look at her now. Look at her now. Look at her now. Still going strong.
Now she has her own network.
Still going strong.
And now she's a billionaire.
Yeah.
And now she's been in movies. She's done everything you can imagine. She's been a tremendous success.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. That's awesome.
But her vision and the dream was tested.
Right. Yeah. No, definitely. And I think when I think about this concept that your dreams will be tested, I think that, you know, when I think about a test, you know, it takes me back to like my school days where I would have to, I knew the test was coming, you know, and I would have to study and prepare and, you know, do specific things to prepare for that test.
Yeah.
And I think that you have to keep in mind that as you're working towards your dream, that every step of the process is also preparation for when it will be tested.
Yeah,
you know,
that's right.
and whether it's
it prepares you for that.
Yeah, whether it's okay, am I going to persevere through this tiny little thing, or am I going to already say, it's too much?
That's right.
You know, because then when the big thing comes, that's really, really going to test you with your dream.
That's right.
You've been like, you know what? I've already passed through all these little ones. There's no way I'm going to let this one take me out,
That's
you know?
right.
So I think value the processing of, you know, going after your dream because there's purpose in all of it, and it will prepare you for the moments of testing.
Exactly.
So that your dream you can keep working towards it.
Yeah, and I think the dream requires perseverance. And the reason I think, and again, this is my experience, and so it's a little bit subjective, but I think that all the testing that we have gone through with the vision of the church and the ministry and everything has actually developed more depth in our lives.
Right.
And it's given us a depth and an insight that we probably wouldn't have had if everything would have been handed to us on a silver platter overnight.
Course. Yeah, of course.
You know?
Right. That's very
But
true.
when you're in the trenches and you're struggling and you're hurting and you're crying and you're crawling and you're getting ready to give up, you know, and all that, man, that does something to you.
Yeah.
You know, if you're keeping the right attitude, you know,
of course,
it makes you better instead of bitter.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it really develops some depth and some strength of character that is required to be able to push through in the vision and the dream.
Oh no, definitely. And my husband and I, we were talking about this the other day because he was listening to a podcast that was kind of talking about, you know, similar things we're talking about. But he was saying that the guy was that he was listening to was basically saying, like, you know, if you have something you're trying to do, you have to be willing to make 100 bad ones to get one good one. Yeah. You know, and if you're not willing to make 100 bad ones, the 101 might be the best, the first good one. Right. But if you stop at 50, you never get to that.
Get to it.
You know, and so in other words, he was, you know, kind of saying, like, you have to push through. You have to keep going. Yeah. And you have to say, if I said I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it until it hits. You know, or until it resonates with me, and I feel like, okay, this is it. This is what I was trying to accomplish, you know. And then you take that good one and you continue to launch from that, you know. And so I think perseverance is, to me, I just think, like, you put it on repeat. You keep doing it. You keep doing it.
That's it.
You keep working at it, and you have to be willing to go through the ones that don't work to get to the one that does.
Exactly.
You know, whatever that might be.
Because it will happen.
Yeah.
If God put it in your heart.
That's right. Yeah.
He gave you what you need.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of walking it through.
Right.
And at some point, it breaks through, and it will happen.
That's right.
And that's why the one thing we have to do is not quit.
Yeah. That's right.
And we just keep going.
Yeah.
Because if you keep going, you keep learning, you keep growing, you keep adjusting, you keep adapting.
Right.
And by the time you know it, boom, the breakthrough happens.
Right. That's right.
And so
that's right.
So it's important to have a dream, vision, goal, whatever, you know, and it will be tested.
Yes, it will.
Don't be surprised.
Just be ready for it.
Just hang in there. Keep on doing what you know you need to do.
And if you fail the test, you get a big F. You go home and you study and you retake the test.
And you'll do it again. You'll do it again. Yeah. Because you won't move forward until you pass the test.
That's right. That's right. Oh, man, that's right. That's a whole different podcast.
And if you quit, get ready, because you're going to have to come to it again.
Yeah, you're going to repeat that grade.
So it's better to press on, see the breakthrough, see the hand of God, and man, what a beautiful life.
Yeah.
So anyhow, dreams are important, visions, goals, and this is how you start strong.
Yes.
And you can look forward to a great year.
That's right.
And so we just encourage you to come back next week, get some more of this stuff, because we're going to be dropping some really, really good stuff that's going to inspire you and strengthen you.
That's right.
Anyhow, God bless you. Thank you for being here at The Drop. I hope that this has been encouraging.
Yep.
And we'll see you in the next episode.
We'll see you next week. Share this with a friend, all right? See you next week.
Do it.